Thus Spoke Zarathustra is one of the most influential works of history. It challenged all the major concepts of philosophy that were in existence up until that point. But what makes the book unique is how explicitly it displays the natures and limitations of human existence, which can be defined in one of the very core ideas of the book, that the man is a bridge, and also in Zarathustra's dialogues and discourses with individuals of various types throughout 4 parts of the book, while at the same time Nietzsche also presented his own ideas. In this video, all these concepts and ideas are going to be mentioned in further details, starting with gazing at the abyss. This idea indicates the mindset of individuals who have grown weary of themselves, as Nietzsche described, as they have wrapped their lives around the old principles, and they are essentially worn out of their existence, as their existence is essentially confined to these very ideas and principles. He mentions such individuals preach the ideas that all is vain and one must not will. This idea was showcased in all 4 parts of the book. Not only in this manner, it was also used in explaining how individuals seek hope through something, whether it be in the form of an idea, a doctrine, thereby clinging to something to find hope. This was very well explained in how the higher men in part 4 interpreted Zarathustra's ideas and bended them to their limited vision by making donkey as their deity and labeling it as the entity representing the state of beyond good and evil. The discourses the higher man had with Zarathustra revealed the exact nature of men. So the biggest question that comes out of this is, how can one go past this fate? As per Nietzsche, we must gaze within ourselves. The idea centers around that one must be aware of their tendencies and to understand the limits of the nature of our existence. By doing so, we can lay the path of overcoming them. By gazing within ourselves, we build a conscious awareness of them. Accordingly, a man essentially is a bridge that needs to be gotten past, as what lies ahead is the Übermensch. This theme was consistently displayed throughout the book. The best quote from the book that comes to my mind related to this is also in the 4th part of the book. The most cautious people ask today, how can man still be preserved? Zarathustra, however, asks, as the soul and the first one to do so, how shall man be overcome? Superman lies close to my heart. He is my paramount and sole concern, and not man, not the nearest, not the poorest, not the most suffering, not the best. Finally, eternal recurrence and eternity. Eternal recurrence is the most major idea associated with Nietzsche, as he claims that existence is a perpetual process and all the events and processes are intertwined and looped with each other. At least that's what I was able to make out of it, especially in the context of Thus Spoke Zarathustra alone, and not other works of Nietzsche. Since this video is purely dedicated to the single work of his, this can also be applied in showcasing how human lifespan as creatures is also running around in circles, especially to lead our lives and to survive, all the while making a sense out of this world we're in. This can also be applied to Zarathustra's life as a whole in this book, as he started his journey while gazing from his cave. He made his way down in the first part of the book. Meanwhile, as Zarathustra progressed his journey, he encountered various individuals and had dialogues along the way, while he proposed various new principles, from marketplaces to towns and to islands, while eventually returning to the cave, hence completing the circle. Meanwhile, this can also be applied to the higher men, who also completed their circle as they feasted with Zarathustra in the final part of the book and found a new deity for themselves, each embracing the eternal return through their own contradictions. And to conclude this, throughout his journey, if you focus on Zarathustra, as I perceive, contradicted his own words, because Zarathustra himself is not the Übermensch. Rather, he himself is a bridge, the same one that he used to portray men. And similarly, I would say for myself that I contradicted myself while adding a vision to this book. And in this very video, I had put together gazing at the abyss and gazing within themselves in a sequence, and to quote what has been mentioned in his writings, and also in one of the frames of the video titled Letter. And where does man not stand in an abyss? Is seeing itself not seeing abysses, which is the most subtle and wonderful way of defining human limitations. Therefore, Zarathustra needs children who can overcome these confined limitations. Riding on a lion, his children are bound to come, which terrified the higher men who live and breed in these defined patterns, bound with the mightiest, yet interdependent of what in Nietzsche's words, the eternity.